eyes will be on TCS today. Numbers typically come out closer to 5:30 p.m. is the press conference. And let's quickly tell you what the street is expecting. Well, the street is expecting perhaps that there could be a beat. Look at the way the stock has recovered. But in terms of numbers, these are the consensus expectation. Dollar revenue growth, 1.3%. Constant currency revenue growth, 3.4%. Similar to the growth that it had in Q1, which was 3.5%. So top line growth is expected to be strong because the top line growth is a function of the deals won in the prior quarter. So across the board, Q2 revenue growth is expected to be fairly intact. On margins, margins are expected to bounce back by 70 basis points, improve by 70 basis points because Q1 margins were hurt due to wage hikes. So there is no wage hike impact. So that explains the quarter-on-quarter margin jump. And profits, according to our poll, should come in at about 10,250 crore. In terms of commentary, TCS never gives you, it never gives you a guidance. But in terms of numbers, this time they did say that they're hopeful Q4 margins will improve to 25%. So do they continue to maintain that? Secondly, their exposure to UK and Europe is higher at close to about 30% of the overall revenues. Thirdly, the two lead indicators of demand, which gives you a sense of what the next growth is going to be, is deal wins, and the other one is hiring. And both deal wins and hiring were a bit muted in the prior quarter. So those are the two numbers apart, that the street will be tracking very closely. While the near-term revenue growth outlook for the sector remains strong, we will watch for commentary which gives you a sense of how FY24 is going to be in terms of deal wins, in terms of revenue growth, in terms of a recovery in margins. And there have been a lot of reports on the supply side that not TCS, but how other IT companies and large IT companies have delayed the onboarding of freshers. So they're not saying that we will not hire you, but instead of say joining in September, they're saying come join us in December. Yeah. Variable pay has been lower than what the company, these employees enjoyed last year. So there have been a lot of reports surrounding freshers, hiring, promotions, wage hikes, bonus. Yeah. So supply side commentary is going to be very crucial.
All right, so we don't have too much longer before we do get TCS's earnings, and we trust Reema to break down all of those numbers. Remember, you can also catch the TCS MD and CEO, Mr. Rajesh Gopinathan, address the media at the earnings press conference scheduled for 5:30 p.m. today. All right, with that, we're going to wind down on this edition of Trading Hour. The market has recovered a little bit. It's now a 130-point cuts. We've seen around a 70-point recovery in the past 30 minutes or so, around 0.8% lower on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank Index is around 0.4% lower, so there's been a significant recovery there as well. And the mid-cap index is still looking a little bit weak, around 300 points on the mid-cap index. Thanks a lot for tuning into Trading Hour. Halftime report is up next.